Now my mic is on. Great. It is Friday the 13th. Of course, something like that would happen, wouldn't it? So here we are today. We're doing a live stream for Friday the 13th. And I know you guys watching the live stream, you're going to be sitting there going, oh, it's Friday the 13th. You're doing a live stream. So you got to be looking at a Friday the 13th toy or talking about the Friday the 13th movies or maybe talk about the failed Friday the 13th video game. Rest in peace. That game's awesome. But actually, no. Today I'm not here for Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th. I'm here for Friday for Formers Fridays. That's right. Usually the Geek does this show, Formers Friday. He can't do it. He's got other stuff going on. It's been a hectic week for him. Lots of craziness in his life right now. So Zentron, I know you're here. And I thank you for watching. And for you and anyone else that tunes in live, it's like a surprise. Like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's doing a Transformers thing here. But for, the other people not watching live, it's already been spoiled by the thumbnail and everything. But talking about Transformers, what are we going to cover here? Because, there's so much stuff out there. There's so many toys I have that I haven't covered. The Geek already has. So it's like, do I double up on something he's already done? Or, I was thinking I might just take the easy way out and just repost an old video. But I happened into my Family Dollar, and I found at Family Dollar they have their own budget line of Transformers. Now, I know you're thinking they've always had their own budget line, and usually they have the smaller ones. They have like these size figures, right? This is what you usually get in your Dollar General or Family Dollar assortment of Transformers. These tiny, a lot of times repaints. Sometimes it's just the same Optimus and Starscream and Bumblebee, just in new packaging every year being re-released. But no, they actually have something exclusive to the value branded stores. So I don't know if that means Walmart or not. I'm going to think that Walmart probably isn't because it's now considered one of the more leading brand stores because Toys R Us is closed and everything like that. But what they do have are figures like this. Now, as you can see here, Grimlock. If you look at the figure, you can see that it's just it looks like a regular Grimlock, but you can see that there are some pieces here. We'll talk about that in a second. On the back, you've got the instructions and the two different modes that it has. But if you look, this is the what they call the value brand packaging, and so I think places like Family Dollar, Dollar General, stuff like that. So what we have here is a Grimlock. Now, looking closely at it, if I can get this to focus, you can see that the head and the main part of the torso with the arms are in the package, but they're not actually attached. Now, originally, my fear on this was that this meant that those pieces were just like after you would transform them into the dinosaur, then you'd snap those pieces on. But it turns out, if you look at the instructions on the back, the instructions actually show the pieces attached and part of the transformation process. So really what it is in order to get it into this slimline blister card packaging and get it into these value stores on the pegs, those pieces they actually popped off and put in the package, and it looks like once we open it and take the toy out, then we're actually going to get the full regular Grimlock. And I have to say, for a Grimlock, this looks pretty good. Now, they also had a Bumblebee, but the Bumblebee, it wasn't a VW Bug. It was just a yellow sports car. Green sports car, so that's somebody completely different. No, it's just a yellow sports car. Nothing special about it. So I passed on that. But the Grimlock, I looked at it and I go, you know what? It actually looks pretty decent. So I'm sure it's hollow plastic. I'm sure it's nothing, fabulous as far as toys go. But it looked decent enough that I figured, you know what, that's worth it. And these run about $10. Now, depending on when you go, they might be on sale for $8, $6. A lot of times they do sales, especially middle of summer and Christmas time, whatever. So you may be able to run into it a little bit cheaper, but that's probably what you're looking at. It's about $10. And considering, a lot of the figures nowadays are going for 20, 25, 40, 100. This is the new, value line price is $10, and I think that's fair. I think $10 is a price I'm willing to pay, for a fairly decent, and especially since this one looks like normal, regular Grimlock. So let's go ahead and rip this guy open. And as I said, it's just a blister. It's nothing spectacular in the packaging. And if I rip the card off there's nothing else in the package. We've got a plastic backer that holds everything into place. And we've got our Grimlock. And we've got our little midsection here with this tiny, tiny, tiny little arms. And we've got the head. Everything else in the package, that's it. The only other thing you have is this little piece of paper that's actually taped to the front that has the picture and everything on it. So no instruction card on the inside, no training card, nothing like that. The instructions are on the back, but it's a simple enough, former that you really probably don't even need those instructions. So if we take a look at the figure here, just looking at it without doing anything else to it, you can see that that's actually a pretty decent looking Grimlock there. I mean, again, it doesn't stand out as being anything too spectacular, if I can get it to focus here. But you can see that it's got some paint. Everything is molded in gray, and then they've added the paint tones to it. It does feel light. It does feel very light, as a matter of fact. And if we turn it around to the back, you can see that, in fact, the legs are hollow. You can see a good portion of the body is just hollow. The hands are, I was hoping maybe they'd fold out or something, but it doesn't look like they do. It looks like the hands are just kind of stuck there in the dinosaur foot. So we've got our robot here, and I can see right here there's a little hinge to pop out here to put, I guess, the head on. So let's see if we can do that here. Actually, I'm wondering, okay, let me start with the body. So here's the body. Here's the main body shell that's going to attach. And, I guess this maybe is what attaches, and the head attaches to this. Okay. All right, so now I can see it. So opening up this body segment here, you can see that there are a couple clips there on the inside. And those clips, obviously, go to this bar piece that's on here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those on. Maybe, if I just knocked one of the body pieces off doing that. Grab it here. All right, so again, this is the value line. This is nothing that's made to be too incredibly spectacular, but nonetheless. Okay, so now that we've got that attached onto the back, pretty much what you're familiar with a Grimlock. We're going to take the head, and you can see the head has these, round clip pieces, and you can see a spot right there where it looks like it goes on. And so some assembly required on your $10 Grimlock. Now, one thing I'm noticing as I'm attaching this back piece on, if you look at Grimlock's back, you can see, if I can get it angled just right, there's a little hole. You can see it in his shoulder right there. All right. Now, if we look at the back, you can see that there's a peg on the big rectangular part of that arm, and so that inserts. I just knocked the other side off. Those pegs insert into the back to hold it in place, and it sits flush, which actually you can see better since I knocked that arm piece off. So I don't even know where it went. It's down here somewhere. Of course, it rolls directly under the chair where I cannot see it. Okay. All right, so if we tilt the head back, tilt the arms back, I mean, that's pretty much what you're used to with the Grimlock figure. But it actually, with it snapping into place like that, this doesn't look that bad. You know what I mean? I mean, this looks like a Grimlock. Now, I wish there was a little more going on down here, but whatever. So the head twists. Actually, the head is on a little ball, so you can see that it moves around. And we've got these shoulders that move. We've got these elbows that move. I really wish these hands popped out somehow, but if they do, they're really in there tight, and I can't get it to come out. But let's see. We have the hips here. Is that considered the hip? And then we've got the knee, and that's it. So not a lot of articulation, but still a decent amount considering what the toy is. Okay, so in order to convert this, we have to pop this up, it looks like. And again, I threw the instructions over there, so I'm assuming I'm going to do this right, which probably means I'm going to do it wrong. But we're going to fold the body together and flip down the head, and there is a little place for it to snap together. You can see it can snap together and snap the head into place there. So let's do that. Okay, that clicked in rather satisfyingly, and it's holding together. And then we're going to take the legs, and you can see the legs actually have peg pieces to fit together here. And then we're gonna do what we can here, flip it into place, and these legs kind of get in the way a little bit as you're trying to flip it. So you're gonna have to move those around as you're bringing the legs down to try to keep everything lined up correctly. And the feet are. Does it twist? Because the feet look like they're facing the wrong way. No? That's just how it goes. Does this? All right, so here's the thing. All right, here's what I'm looking at. Let me throw this together so you can see. All right, so here we have our Grimlock as our dinosaur. Rawr! Congratulations. Happy Friday the 13th. Hope it didn't scare you. And so the feet, you can see the toes are aiming to the back. Does this simply... Yeah, I guess it does. It just simply swivels around like that to get them into place. And there's not really much of a tail coming off the back there. But overall, I mean, look at this. That's Grimlock. That's a pretty good size. I mean, compared to my head is gigantic. And it does a pretty good job of being about the same size as my giant head there. So, Anthony W. Robb says I'd buy that for $1 or 10. And yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad I bought this. This looks decent. Now, obviously, it's not as cool as, a masterpiece that you can buy for $80 or, anything along that line. But as a $10, kind of budget, value-friendly Transformer, that looks pretty good. Like, I got to give him credit for having that. Now, like I said, the only other one I saw was a Bumblebee, and it turns into just the generic yellow sports car. It is not the Volkswagen Bug. So I don't know what other ones there are as part of the line. I'm guessing there's a Starscream, an Optimus Prime, Megatron, but I don't know. I don't know for certain. But it's simple enough and easy enough to do. Now, the bottom... If you look at the bottom, you can see, obviously, there's the robot part. But it's mostly hidden when he's in this mode. But yeah, Hello? Hello? All right, can you hear me now? Okay, that's it. I had to switch to the crappy internal microphone instead of the blue snowball mic that I've been using. I've actually been having a lot of problems with my blue snowball lately, so I may have to cut back on the blue snowball. I don't know what the deal is with this thing, but and I've been having problems with the laptop freezing up and rebooting a couple times, and with this cutting out, it makes me wonder if the blue snowball is actually the problem. So I may have to stop using the blue snowball for a while. So yeah, I'm on the crappy internal mic now that's built into the laptop. So hopefully you can still hear me okay. So what was I saying about? Oh, so I don't know where exactly it cut off if I had talked about this, but I have a bunch of primes here, these smaller ones. I just put them in baggies and put them in the storage because they were overflowing on the shelf, and I have to rearrange some things. I'm also trying to make some room for some more Voltrons because all my Voltrons are in the basement except for the big ones that I have. There's let's see, there's the Netflix one right there, and then you can see the legendary one right there, and then there's another. No, it's mirrored. I can't do this backwards. Uh, you got some more over there. So anyway, I've got some Voltrons here, but I'm trying to make room for more Voltrons. Oh, and I do have more Voltrons right there. So yeah, so I'm trying to make room for some more Voltrons, and I thought rearrange the primes and try to make some room, but it's not really working, not happening. So anyway, all right, guys, Formers Friday. We're talking about Grimlock. I don't know why I keep getting pulled aside, but yeah, so definitely worth the value brand price for getting this guy. If they do, a Soundwave, a Megatron, an Optimus Prime, I'll probably go and grab those. The Bumblebee, though, not being a VW bug, I just really have no interest in that character. But I will keep my eye open, and I will troll around some more discount stores for you. I'll do it for you. I'm buying these toys for you guys. That's what I tell my wife anyway, when she always asks, why do you keep buying those? I say, for the people. I'm doing it for the people. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me anyway. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you have any questions, comments, whatever you want to get a hold of me, you can always send me an email or find me on Twitter. Those are going to be the easiest ways to send me a message. You can post them on YouTube here in the comments and in the chat box and whatever, but I don't always pay attention to them like I probably should. So a tweet grabs my attention because the notification pops up. Send me an email, of course. As long as it doesn't go in my spam folder, I will see it and, send you a reply maybe or talk about it here on the show. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.